Welcome to another episode of Football Scientific with me, Aaron Sauter. I'm a writer for FootballAnalysisOne.com, and I cover the Cincinnati Bengals of the NFL. I also write for CFL News, but I cover the Hamilton Tiger Cats of the CFL. Also on Football Scientific, we talk about the UFL, the IFL, the NAL, and the ELF. And it's not been an overly busy day of football, but I have written 2 articles, Football Analysis, one recently, yesterday and today. One's published, one will be published tomorrow, about the top 10 linebackers in the NFL and the top 10 edge rushers. And we're just working through the offseason, getting ready for the NFL minicamp season coming up at the end of next week for the Bengals. So let's go Bengals, okay? Joining me today is Bengals fan, Hamilton Tiger Cats fan, Tyler the Tiger. What up? Tyler's in the house. Hope you didn't take a day off. I'm here. I'm ready to talk about stuff if I get a chance to talk. I hope I get a chance to talk. All right, I will probably give you a chance to talk, okay? So first, we're going to lead off. This is a little bit of NFL news. We're going to talk about a little bit of NFL news. They're doing owners' meetings right now, second round of owners' meetings, and they're voting on certain things. So one thing they're voting on is reseeding the playoffs. Detroit Lions said we need to reseed the playoffs, and that will allow for a more competitive playoff field and hopefully give them a good matchup if they get back to the number 1 seed like they did last year. They're trying to avoid the disaster of the Commanders game last year when they got knocked out. I kicked my table. They got knocked out because they were not ready to play the Commanders. They had a lot of injuries on defense too, though. I don't think you need to change the format of playoffs because the team didn't win a game. You know what I'm saying? But that's what the offseason is for in the NFL, okay? Next, tush push. They're going to vote on the tush push again, and they're saying, hey, we just don't think they should be able to push the pile. Pushing the pile is hard to judge that. It's going to be hard to judge that. It seems like they're complaining a lot. Packers are complaining a lot about the tush push because they can't stop it. You just figure out how to stop a wedge play. Call me up. Call me on down. I'll talk about morning football with you. I'll teach you how to stop the wedge play. Now, how to stop the wedge play. Stopped it 3 times last year quite well. So let me know and I'll stop it for you, okay? And Packers, I'll give you a consultant fee, $5,000 a day. I'll come talk about how to stop the wedge, the tush push. You want to change the rules then? That's good. Okay, and then the last thing is involving NFL's players' permissions to compete in the Olympics in 2028. They're adding flag football to the Olympics. Okay. We currently have a flag football team. They have a bunch of amateurs. It'd probably be pretty good. It'd probably be good matchups. We'll see. They want to stack it full of NFL players. Why not? They want to win the Olympics one way or another, so why not stack it with the best players in the world? And there's some things in there that says, like, if players get hurt, teams will get compensated and blah, blah, blah. Personally, if I'm an NFL player, I don't really want to play in the flag football thing. I guess a lot of players do. They're saying 1 player for each team can go play in it. But honestly, if I'm an NFL player, I'm getting paid. I don't want to go play in the Olympics. But I'm not an NFL player, and they might want to. We'll see. Cleveland Browns, they have extended the contract of offensive guard Joe Thuney. If you remember, they traded for him with the Kansas City Chiefs to pick him up early in the offseason. He was on the last year of his contract. They extended his contract 2 more years, adding $17.5 million to his contract. So he's going to be at $33.5 million, which is good for a guard. Hope it works out for the Bears. They're putting a lot of money into this offensive line. Let's see if it works out. They're not picking up young guys. They're picking up old guys, which is it can be hit and miss. Tennessee Titans head coach Brian Callahan, formerly offensive coordinator of the Cincinnati Bengals. Blah, 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 blah. Said that Cam Ward and Will Levis are splitting reps in practice right now. It would be really sad for the Tennessee Titans to put all this effort into getting Cam Ward, and then Will Levis beats him out. I can see that. Both quarterbacks, not good. Not good quarterbacks. Sorry. Waste your draft pick, your number 1 pick on Cam Ward. I would have traded out and let the Steelers pick Cam Ward. Then they could stink. I love the Steelers stinking. That's good. Speaking of the AFC North, the Cleveland Browns have got new ownership. Not really. The Haslam family still owns them. But Charles Woodson, Hall of Famer Charles Woodson, defensive back, Heisman Trophy winner, has been approved to have a 0.1 stake in the Cleveland Browns. Okay. 0.1 stake. He's a super minority owner. NFL probably was like, yeah, you can do that. Anyone can do that. I don't know why he had to ask. Miami Dolphins, they have interest in cornerback Asante Samuel Jr. Why? Because they're trying to get rid of Jalen Ramsey. Although no one wants to take the bait because they don't want to pay for his salary along with the trade. But they're saying, hey, we could use Asante Samuel Jr. He could fill in for Jalen Ramsey. They just want to find someone who doesn't mind parking issues at the beach. That's all it's about. The whole thing's about parking issues at the beach. You can't go to South Beach and not park. And Jalen Ramsey's pissed, and Asante Samuel Jr., he might be cool with that. He might just Uber or something. Uber would have saved the whole deal. You know? That's the thing. Commissioner Roger Goodell's flipping off about some stuff. He's saying in the very near future, the NFL will play 16 international games. They're eventually going to make an international team, I think. Not in Canada. Probably London. Big whoop. Go Elf. I like the Elf better than the NFL, honestly. You know, NFL is cool for people like me who like good technical football. The NFL is cool, but I mean, overall, it's kind of boring. So, whatever. I enjoy covering it though. Boom, Cincinnati Bengals. All right. Okay. UFL. Bunch of stuff happened in UFL the last 2 days. Birmingham Stallions have released cornerback Fayon Hicks and Rashad Wild Goose. Cool name. Wild Goose Chase. He's been released. Showboats have released defensive tackle DeMarcus Mitchell and running back West Hills. They were super excited about West Hills, but now that they're out of the playoffs, they're like, you didn't really, I don't know, man. We won a game. I don't know. And West Hills was like, I'm just gonna leave, bro. I don't need this. Smack the Showboats. Y'all lame. Michigan Panthers, they released defensive tackle Levi Bell and wide receiver Fazon McClurge. Fazon. The San Antonio Brahmas released cornerback Derek Langford. No one actually really cares at this point. They're out of the playoffs, man. Do what you gotta do. St. Louis Battlehawks, they released quarterback Trey Self. They got quarterbacks again, I guess. San Antonio Brahmas, they have moved to the IR list. Wide receiver Matthew Sexton. He returned a punt against DC Defenders, helping get their first win of the season. That's pretty cool. He's hurt. Okay. Birmingham Stallions. They signed a bunch of people. Long snapper Gage King, defensive back Neville Clark, defensive end Steve Linton, and cornerback Tommy Hill, because they're like, oh, we're gonna win the league again. Oh, we better do it. We better make it look convincing. Get our 5th UFL championship, spring ball championship. Make it look good. Yeah, whatever. Okay, Memphis. That's why I'm kind of over the UFL. It feels fixed. They already know who's going to host the XFL conference, the USFL conference. It's going to be on Fox and ABC, and they're going to be UFL championship game. It's going to be St. Louis Battlehawks, Birmingham Stallions. Battlehawks win by 2, and we all leave drained. Are they going to expand? Who cares? Memphis Showboats, they signed offensive tackle Dominic Boyd and running back Jada Byers. Jada. Michigan Panthers signed wide receiver Nehemiah Martinez. San Antonio Brahmas, they have signed cornerback Kerry Vincent Jr. Okay, replaced Derek Langford. They signed offensive outside linebacker Marcus Haynes to try and get some pass rush from somebody, sometime, please. And they signed tight end Thomas Gordon in an effort to try and I don't know, they're going to finish the season. They got 2 games left. I don't know what they're going to get. I don't know. All right, I'm speechless for the UFL. NAL Columbus Lions, they signed offensive lineman Bracken Smith, defensive back Jadarius Bird. They're looking like they're going to go to a championship game, so they're trying to get their team right now. Released wide receiver Jalen Clark McNatt, and defensive lineman Jeremiah Kari. Shreveport Rouxgaroux, they have defensive back Cameron McCammon suspended by the league. They're like, you guys might make the playoffs, and we're going to suspend your best defensive back. We want Columbus to be there against Omaha, and then Omaha wins by a bunch. All right, and the Elf. I went through all the Elf scores last week and the power rankings stuff. Elf's pretty fun, man. If you ever watched it, I watched the highlights. I don't have Fubo TV. I don't want to get the Game Pass. I like to watch the highlights, but it's fun football. Hamburg Sea Devils, after losing by 1 point to Madrid Bravos, which personally I would have been, if I was Hamburg Sea Devils, 2 straight losing seasons, and we almost reached Madrid Bravos, who made the playoffs last year, I feel pretty good. But they instead canned defensive coordinator Ray Woodward, and they signed a higher new defensive coordinator, Bo Valesente, who is coach for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Green Bay Packers, Baltimore Colts. He goes back a ways. Carolina Panthers. He was the defensive coordinator for Frankfurt Galaxy in NFL Europe, and he won a German Bowl in 2010 for the Kiel Baltic Hurricanes. So it feels like he hasn't coached in a while, but he has experience in Germany. He probably lives in Germany. And he's like, hey, y'all, I can help out. And they're like, okay, Bo Valesente, you should do that. And they fired the other dude. They're like, we lost the game with you. That's how the elf is. The elf has a short leash, man. If you don't perform in the elf, they will cut you real quick. Sounds like an old gangster thing. I'll cut you real quick if you don't win the game. Yep, they will. Back to the Americas. Boom. Okay. CFL. Last CFL activity the last 2 days. I got caught up writing an article about the top 10 linebackers. I didn't make a video. Did I make a video? I made a video. Brock Purdy. It's all mixing together. I don't know. It's the end of the school year. We'll see what happens. Next week I should be more focused. Okay. Edmonton Elks, they signed national defensive lineman Francis Bemiji and American defensive lineman Quincy Ledette Jr. And they released American wide receiver Cooper Hutton. And they moved to a single game IL list, an injured list, national defensive lineman Noah Carter. Montreal Alouettes, they released American offensive lineman Trayvon Taylor, and they signed American running back Travis Steele. You just never know which of these players are going to be awesome. So let's go through them all. Ottawa Red Blacks released American offensive lineman Kobe Rios, American offensive lineman Malcolm Lamar Sr., national offensive lineman Tristan Foster. They added 2 guys to the 6-game injured list. That's bad. Preseason. National defensive line, ain't playing a preseason game yet. National defensive lineman Nigel Romich, and national wide receiver Nick Margot. Okay. They also signed national wide receiver Rowden Thorne, national long snapper Desmond Pelton, American offensive lineman Malik Peters, and American offensive lineman Aaron Frost. So we'll see. They're making a lot of moves. They might be trying to make a push. Ottawa Red Blacks made playoffs last year over the Tigercats. Hope that does not happen again. I don't know. Okay, Winnipeg Blue Bombers, they added to the injury list. They activated from the injury list. They added to the roster from the injury list American wide receiver Dalton Schoen, who's one of their top players. He's back off the injury list, back under roster. They suspended American defensive lineman Brandon Wright. He probably went home or had to go home for something. That's usually what I suspend him. Winnipeg Blue Bombers also released national defensive lineman Trey Lang and signed American wide receiver Nicodeme Cuomo, who played at Queens, which is a youth sports team. It's weird for an American to play youth sports football, but it does happen. It does happen. Just like Americans go to Canada to play CFL, sometimes Americans go to youth sports teams to play. You can't play in the United States, Division II. There's opportunities north of the border, kids. All right, Edmonton Elks signed American offensive lineman Cole Burdell from Merrimack. They released American offensive lineman Devin Hayes. Montreal Alouettes released American defensive lineman DJ Coleman. Ottawa Red Blacks released American offensive lineman Malik Pete. That was today. Saskatchewan Roughriders added to the injured list national offensive lineman Philippe Gagnon. And they signed national offensive lineman Noah Zer. And the Toronto Argonauts, they released national fullback Bruno Lavelle, who played at Cincinnati. Go Bearcats. Once again, a national who played at Cincinnati. There's a lot of crossing over. Yeah, crossing over. That's pretty cool. All right, and then Hamilton Tigercats. Let's go Tigercats! Hamilton Tigercats, they released American defensive line Tyshawn Render. He rendered him useless. Yes. He rendered him useless. Good call. And they signed American running back Kalen Griffin. Kalen Griffin is 5'10" and 215 pounds. He's originally from Tyler, Texas.
He started his college football career at Rice University. He played there from 2020 to 2021. He played in 17 games. He ran the ball 186 times for 649 yards and 2 touchdowns. He also caught 4 passes for 65 yards while playing for the Owls. Hoot hoot. Okay, and then he transferred to Lamar University. Lamar, that guy, he has played for a guy, Lamar. He went to Lamar University from 2022 to 2023. He played in 22 games, okay. It's FCS Lamar University instead of FCS Rice. He played in 22 games. He had 120 carries, 798 yards, and 11 touchdowns. Coming together. It's coming together. And 12 catches for 119 yards. And this is important because the Tiger Cats play a preseason game this Saturday.
Yes, good point, Tyler. It's a loaded weekend of football coming up. Okay, we got UFL starting Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We got IFL, full week of IFL. We got NAL, full week of NAL. We got a full week of ELF, European League of Football. And then we have 4 preseason games all on Saturday in the CFL. It's going to be a crazy weekend of football. We're going to cover as much as we can. Remember, I've written 2 articles this week so far, footballanalysis1.com. Yesterday or today it was published. I wrote last night, top 10 linebackers in the NFL in 2025. 2 of them are on my fantasy team. Ooh, let's go Fred Warner and Demario Davis. And then today I wrote about on footballanalysis1.com the top 10 edge rushers. That should be published tomorrow, according to my editor. So that's good. And I'm probably going to write an article about the Hamilton Tiger Cats. I'm writing about Hamilton again. I was watching the preseason game yesterday, the CFL preseason game, and I just thought, man, this CFL is so awesome. I can't give up writing. I was gonna give up writing about it, and just focus on NFL. But the CFL is so cool. It's cool to watch, fun to keep up with. So I'm keeping that. UFL, goodbye UFL. Bye, 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 bye. I'll cover it on Football Scientific, but it just feels rigged, and I can't cover that. Not with a clear conscience, It feels like it's fake wrestling. So that's the deal there. FootballAnalysis1.com, CFL News Hub. Check it out. Articles. If you like the video, like it. Boop. Boop. You don't have to. Boop. I'll still make a video. Boop. Whether you like it or not. Boop. I don't care. Boop. Plus. And then, subscribe to the channel. If we ever get to 100 subscribers, we're going to throw a party somewhere. So that'd be fun. That'd be good. I was told, I read some article today saying to stick with it and it'll come together. So, oh well, we're coming together. I think I'm going to add some special effects next week. School will be done. I have some time on my hands. Might line things up a little bit. Okay, so enjoy. I hope you enjoyed the Football Scientific today, and we'll talk again tomorrow. Football Scientific is out. Boop, boop.